you know, one of the things that happens, new people in journalism think that this is the first time this story's ever been done, and no, it's been done before, and there's maybe some intricacies. Maybe we have some film or tape or whatever, maybe there's some backstory to a story or whatever, and as more and more people are no longer there, it's really like they're starting all over again. They're reinventing the wheel so often in terms of telling the story or understanding the story. So again, the essence, the quality or whatever is just isn't as rich, It's great to be able to do a story really fast, and you love the adrenaline of getting a story on the air, breaking news, whatever. But you also really, you can only do that when you really sort of know what you're doing, and the more they get rid of people that have been around a long time, and they got new people in there, I think the quality shows, the lack of quality shows. I went to a conference, and there was it was a journalism-related conference in Los Angeles. I think it was at UCLA, and there was a woman news director who was probably the first woman news director of a major market like that. And it was one of the independent stations in Los Angeles. And she spoke, and so I went up to her afterwards to ask, her about getting a job, or if I'd gotten exactly what I was thinking, because at that point I wasn't thinking about television. But I gave her my resume, and at that point my resume was in the form of a newspaper and had articles about myself. So she looked at it and she said, "Oh no, this is too confusing. You have to do a regular resume. I can't look at this," or something. So I sent her a regular resume and said, "Thank you for talking to me. Here's a regular resume." And I don't know that much about broadcast journalism because I think I had one class in college, and so I said maybe I could just come in and learn about it or something. So the next day, she called me and said, "Somebody just called in sick who answers my phones. If you want to come in and answer the phone, that's fine." So I did. And at the end of the day, she handed me some wire copy and said, "Okay, write it as a broadcast story," which I did not very well. And so she gave me some pointers, and I think probably the one thing I did that made a difference was I sat down and redid it. And she was impressed by that. So she said, "Well, I think you have potential. And so, our best writer writes for our news. So if you want to come in every morning, we'll teach you what we know."